If you want to start a t-shirt business, you need to understand something first. There isn't only one way to do this. There are four, and most people pick the wrong one. Not because it doesn't work, but because it doesn't fit who they are. I've screen printed shirts and sold them out of a backpack. I've printed at home. I've run full inventory. And I've used print on demand. They all work, but they don't all work for you. And there's one path that most beginners should start with, but it's not one that most crafters and creators usually brag about. We'll get there. Let's break down the four real options. First option, printing it yourself. This is heat presses. This is screen printing, DTF transfers, vinyl, garage setups, spare bedroom setups. This might even mean having your own small DTG print shop like I did. You are the production facility. You buy the blanks, you print them, you pack them, and you ship them. Now let's be honest about this. The upside, margins are better. You control quality, you can do local orders really fast, and you can build a strong local brand. There are downsides though. You are also the bottleneck. And you'll know what I mean at Christmas time when you're printing non-stop and not sleeping for days at a time, because it's all on you. You'll need space, you need equipment. You pay the electricity, and it adds up pretty quick. You mess up a shirt, you eat the cost. There's no reprints here. This is not passive. This is a real physical business. And if you like working with your hands and you want control, this can be great. But most beginners underestimate how much work this actually is. Now let's talk about the option that most people start with. Option 2 is print on demand. This is where you design the shirt and a company prints it and ships it once somebody orders it. No inventory. No boxes stacked up to the ceiling in your garage. No buying 200 shirts with the same print and then hoping they sell. You connect a store like Etsy or Shopify to a fulfillment provider like Printify. And when someone buys, Printify prints it, Printify ships it, and you keep the margin. Now before I go deeper, first let's talk about design. If you're not a professional designer, you do not need to be intimidated. Tools like Kittl make this dramatically easier. Kittl has typography templates, so you don't need to buy packs elsewhere, text effects, so you can cancel your Creative Fabrica subscription, lots of built-in AI tools, so you can ditch all the others separately, vector editing, so no more pricey Adobe nonsense, mockup capabilities, and most recently, videos, which is a game changer for animating your mockups and your designs to make amazing content for social media and scroll-stopping listings. You're not starting from a blank page, and this matters because the real skill in POD is not being a Picasso. It's making clean, readable, niche-focused designs that solve a problem for a specific group. Kittl helps speed that up without bouncing between 6 different apps and platforms. So check this out. I came over here in Kittl to templates just to make it easy. I typed in Irish shirt since St. Patrick's Day is around the corner. And you have a whack load here that you can pick from. And they're super easy to edit. I'll just go through and choose one here. We can probably go with this one. You just click on it to use the template. And we want to say change the text, right? You can just double click on this and maybe do something a little more fun. Feeling lucky. And then all you have to do is click off it and it sets it back into the position it was already in. So super easy to do here. Maybe I'll just move this guy down a bit. And then this guy, I'm going to come to these 3 dots and say bring to front so that the ears are over top now. And we can call that a done design. I'm going to copy this. And if you were wondering if AI can create realistic looking mockups, check this out again. Kittl has an AI powered Photoshoot here. Yeah, for real. It's called a Photoshoot. It's got a bunch here and it's super simple to use. Edit the input board, add your own design, select smartboard and generate again and let the magic happen. So I'll come here to the input board. We can just delete these and I will Command V or Control V on a PC to paste. And I'm just going to shrink this so that it fits here. That looks pretty good. You can come over here with these alignment tools and just center and center just to make sure. And let's say we want to use this one, for example. You just click on it and you come down to the prompt here and you can click generate again. But because this is not showing up so well on the white shirt, this feeling lucky here, we're gonna change white here to dark green. And just like that, we've got a design here and you can see how it kind of warps with the shirt. Looks a little darker. It looks real. While most mock-ups, when people create them, it just looks like something was copied and pasted and dropped on top. There's no kind of texture or warping to it. This looks super real. So as far as AI power goes, this is awesome because most business startups don't have the budget for a photo shoot. So you can come right in here and use this. And you can use any single one of these here. There's 10 included in this Kittl AI powered apparel shoot, but you can feel free to change any of the descriptors in here. For example, click on this one if you wanted it on the back of a hoodie, and then you can just adjust the color of the sweatshirt, the prompts included, and you can add a video board while we have this created here. So I'm just gonna come and do this. I'm gonna pull it over here, and I am just gonna say something like, make his shirt and hair blow in the breeze while he faces the camera. And I'll just click generate. So this is going to generate based on this iteration now. So for a startup that you don't have the budget, imagine you can create a photo shoot here that is powered by AI, but then also create a video. So you can use this in your Amazon ads, in your Meta ads for Shopify, for example, and in your actual listing in Etsy. And Etsy has stated listings with actual videos in them actually convert better. And we didn't even have to leave Kittl at all. And I am gonna leave the link to this apparel shoot in the top comment so you can have direct access to this. We'll zoom in here, it says almost there. If you wanna try Kittl, I'll leave my coupon code in the top comment. You can use Jay's Way YT for 25% off any of Kittl's plans. All right, let's see what we got here. Look at how amazing this looks. Absolutely insane. You can't tell that this isn't real. Just like that, you saved $1,000 on a photo shoot for what we've done here in minutes. If you want to see how I'm using Kittl on my own brick and mortar store that we just opened down here in Belize, type design in the comments and I'll get on it. This kind of stuff is super fun for me. Having good design tools means nothing if you're designing things that nobody wants. So how do you know what people actually want to buy? This is where research comes in. Most people guess. Guessing is expensive. Research is cheaper. If you're selling on Etsy or Shopify, tools like eRank will let you see keyword search volume, check competition levels, spot seasonal trends, and validate demand. So instead of thinking, I feel like dog moms might buy this, after you create your design, you can actually see if people are searching for dog mom shirt. You can see if the competition is insane. You can see if the niche or demand is growing, and you can see related keywords. And all of that before you actually start creating. This isn't about copying, it's about positioning. And here's a mistake almost everyone makes. They focus on printing. They obsess over mock-ups, and they argue about shirt colors. But they never validate demand. Printing is mechanical. Demand is strategic. And we'll come back to that when I explain the smartest progression plan. Now let's talk about fulfillment specifically. Printify is a fulfillment network. It connects you to multiple print providers. And that matters because different providers have different quality, different locations, different shipping speeds, and different base costs. And with Printify, you can choose your provider, so you can use the one closest to your customer so they can get it faster. You can test samples on various garments. You can compare pricing. You can scale globally, and all while avoiding holding any actual inventory, which is huge. The trade-off here though, margins are lower than printing for yourself. You don't fully control the print quality, and shipping times depend on the provider and how busy they are. But the upside is huge. You can test 50 designs on Shopify or Etsy without risking thousands of dollars, which means you can fail cheaply. And that is super powerful. And this is why POD is the smartest starting point for most people. But not everyone should stay there forever. Let's talk about option 3. Partnering with a local print shop. This one's underrated. You design, a local print shop print your shirts. You can do bulk orders, event shirts, local niche groups, tourist-driven merch, community-based brands, and you can help out small businesses too who might not need a lot at once. Margins are usually better than POD. You also don't buy any equipment, but it's still very manual. You coordinate orders and do all the design work. You pick up the shirts, you manage the logistics. You're pretty much a broker here, and I did this for about 10 years in a time before an all-in-one tool like Kittl even existed, which would have saved me countless hours and thousands of dollars. This model is great if you're building something local and relationship driven, but it doesn't scale globally as easily, or at all really. And option 4 is bulk manufacturing with full branding. This is where you'll order 100 or 500 or 1,000 units. You'll add custom labels, you'll design packaging, store inventory, and possibly use a third party like Amazon to warehouse and ship your products as they're ordered. Margins are the highest here, And risk is also the highest here. If you guess wrong on your demand, you're sitting on boxes of thousands of shirts. And this is not where beginners should start. This is where validated sellers will graduate to. So remember earlier I said there's one path most beginners should start with? Here it is. Start with POD. Use eRank to validate demand. Use Kittl to create clean, niche-focused designs, mockups, and video. And use Printify to fulfill without risk. Test, watch what sells, then move winning designs into bulk production for higher margins. And yes, this can also still be done with print on demand. That's the progression that most serious sellers follow. It's not emotional, it's strategic. Most people try to skip steps, and that's why they end up quitting. And if I'm completely honest, I'm biased towards one method, which is print on demand, because it's allowed us to see more of the world than I ever thought imaginable, and because I can work fully remotely. The printing, the packaging, the fulfillment is totally outsourced to Printify, so I don't have to worry about any of that stuff. And it allows me to continually be inspired when I look out the window and I'm not facing the gray skies of Ontario, Canada, and instead I can see palm trees. So easy to stay inspired creatively when I can be in a climate that is conducive to inspiration. And all you really need is a solid internet connection and a laptop. And I can promise you the views out here and the outdoor office space idea is never going to get old. There isn't one way to start a t-shirt business. There's 4. The mistake is copying someone else's setup without understanding your own risk tolerance, your own budget tolerance, and your own personality. Low risk, high margin, full control, or full automation. You don't get all 4 at once. You gotta choose your trade-off. And if you want a simple 2-page decision map that breaks down all 4 models and helps you figure out which one actually fits you, grab it below. It's free, no fluff, just clarity. And again, if you want to see how I'm using Kittl in my beachfront shop, type design in the comments. Please subscribe and share this with someone who might need some clarity. Ciao for now.